All right. Seem to be running late today. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. We're going to be doing some game dev. We last time slapped out a chunk building. No, is that what we did? No, we got chunk breaking working, so we can break blocks and they spawn correctly, which is great. It's a little bit of black magic, and I'm not entirely sure if it works / how it works, but it works. I tested it. I've been testing it. It works. We're going to mess with it. Because I need to be able to place more than one chunk. And to do that, I need to be able to reference blocks by their chunk. And that's going to require math, and that's going to require... I didn't stream yesterday, but I did do a little bit of stuff. I did split out the block breaking sprite into 8 separate images. Woo. And then I added them through the input handler. And that works. It looks correct. It's a little fast, but I think that's more fun. I did also add particles. These are not complicated. All I did was take this, basically clone it in code. I actually wrote a helper here to do all this. Take this object in code, spam it out, but make it really tiny. Give it a random position, random velocity, random rotation, and then give it the texture of the block that's just been broken. And also you pass in the block. So it works. Simple enough. The physics is free because Godot. There's probably a world where this is actually a huge mistake. I am worried about like the performance impact of just spawning 16 cubes every time you break a block and then them just sitting here. Does that have like a massive performance impact that I'm not noticing because my computer can handle it? But maybe when you're running it in a web browser, that's not the case. We'll see. Play around with that and make sure that's not actually ruining the game. Okay. Our goal for today, though, be able to add more than one chunk to the world. That's it. If we can do that, successful stream. It would be nice if we could place blocks, but I think this is actually going to have to wait on the inventory being implemented. So we'll just like move that down a little bit. I'm also thinking that I'm probably just going to do trees and stone offline. Stone is going to be super simple. It's going to be exactly the same as dirt, except it's going to have a different texture, and the number of seconds it takes to break this is going to be different. That's it. And trees, we're going to have to implement wood, and then we're going to have to implement leaves. But that's not complicated. It's the same as implementing dirt. And then we'll just have to come up with a really basic pattern. So like spawn 4 to 6 wood, and then at the top, build like a tuft of leaves. Doesn't have to be complicated. It's not complicated in Minecraft. Why would it have to be complicated here? Maybe we can set this up so that a tree can be made of any material, not just wood and leaves. We could have like stone trees. We could invent some materials that are fancier. We could have diamond ore trees. I don't know. No reason to lock this into wood. And then later this week, we'll be doing inventory and maybe basic crafting. This feels important. This feels like we need to get this tomorrow or Friday. So we'll do that. First, let's add additional chunk function. I'm at the stage where I've already spaced out. My memory has forgotten all of the math that I've put into this game. So I'm just going to stumble around, honestly. And if we break something, that's expected. We've got this function somewhere. Not the block helper. This just gives us a number. This just turns This is just a lookup table for world chunk. I added a chunk coordinate to the world chunk in preparation for today. There's a function here, initialize level, takes an array of chunks. We'll have to probably rip this up and rewrite it. But this is not where we want. Cast helper, effects helper, no. Chunk handler, maybe this is what I'm thinking of. Okay. We can give it a global position and it'll give us the chunk. And we can also give it a global position and it will give us the block and it's chunk aware. Theoretically, it's chunk aware. I don't think we've ever tested this because we've never implemented a second chunk. But we can do that right now. Let's start at the beginning. When the game is initialized, we're creating a level builder, and then we're creating a world chunk. And we are building it. And then we're passing it to the level initializer. Maybe when we pass in build chunk, we don't just pass in a strategy. We also pass in the coordinates of the chunk. Which the chunk doesn't need to do anything different. It just needs to know where it is. I guess it technically doesn't need to know that, but somebody needs to know that. So why not the chunk? Let's have the build chunk function. Let me just make sure that I'm not breaking something important. Nope, we're not. Chords. Okay. And then we go back to this function and we need to pass in coordinates. So I'm thinking we build up to 9 chunks. We have our central chunk, and then we have a chunk, 8 chunks surrounding it. For I in range 9? No, 10. No, 9. Actually, I would rather do this like this. -1, 0, 1. Or j in -0, 1, 1. Just for now. All right. So now every chunk has a location in the world. We need to let the level initializer be aware. Oh, I need to actually not. I need to create a chunk array. Okay. So we're passing in our chunk array now. So this function we need to update. I mean, cannot have an element of type array world chunk and an array of type. Oh, yeah, that's fair. You can't double arrays. Godot just doesn't believe in that. To do multi-chunk awareness, it's time. For chunk in chunks, we get a node of placed blocks. Okay. So we're going through the chunk width, height, and depth. We're checking local neighbors for error. Chunk I, J, and K. Var block helper, get block object. Chunk get block. Okay, this function might need to be changed. Check local neighbors for error. Calling chunk.getBlock. Okay, so if we make the chunk.getBlock function aware of other chunks, this function is satisfied. And if we make maybe we don't do that. Well, okay, we don't need to do that for now. That's just affecting whether or not the block gets drawn immediately. That's an optimization. Optimization to do make this multi-chunk aware. Because right now I'm just passing in a chunk and then I'm just... anyway, we need to update the position. This is the key thing. So not all blocks are getting placed right now, but the blocks that are getting placed, we want to have their position be updated. So we want the I times scale plus the world chunk dot world, nope, chunk chord dot x times chunk dot width, yeah. And then over here plus chunk dot chord dot z times chunk dot depth. Okay, that theoretically should be it. What do you mean z cannot? Oh, yeah, it's fair. It's a vector 2, not a vector 3. Placed blocks dot append vector 3. Okay, we can leave that alone. Okay. Well, almost. We almost got it. I forgot to multiply by the scale. Times scale. Times scale. Chunk is the final format. Oh yeah, you coming. All right, we got a grid. This is not going to work. We're not done, but this is progress. Let's see what happens if we break this. Well, a block appeared somewhere. I don't know where, but it appeared somewhere. Okay, but this is not spawning blocks where they should be. So I see a lot of labels. The label density. That's weird. Wasn't expecting those. Oh, here we go. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's nothing spawning here. We need to update the, when you break a block, it'll spawn where it spawns that block depends. We need to make that chunk aware. Okay. How do we do that? How is that happening? All right, when we input handler, when we break a block, what is happening again? 26 chunk make up a chunk. That's science. We are calling observe block.queueFree. And then in the observed block, well, that's over here, we're calling block broken update at in the chunk handler. Okay, so that's this function. Ah, yeah, that's a bug that I need to fix. I know that bug. I can't remember what's causing it, but I know that bug. We got the global position param. Get block at global position. We're supposed to be spawning a block here. Yes. And we need to multiply, add the chunks. Chunk chord. Is that right? That feels right. If I just plus vector 3, oh, I need to get the chunk. I don't have a chunk, so I can't get the chunk chord. Bar chunk equals. You know, I should probably just move this out here and then play with these like this. Save a little bit of memory allocation time. Chunk equals. Do I have, am I in the function that gets me the chunk? Get chunk from global position, yes. Is this the function? Okay, I'll just take this. Okay. Okay, so now we have the chunk. We can add plus vector 3. I want to add the chunk dot chunk chord dot x times scale. Is that right? No, I'm running out of brain. I just did this and I've already forgotten. Oh, though that's right. I need to multiply by the width. Zero chunk dot chunk chord dot z y times chunk dot depth times scale. All right. This is not a. This is giving me an int? Wow, okay. Identifier scale, not declared in the current scope of the scale. Chunk.scale. Chunk.scale. All right, and the good news is we can just take this line, copy it, paste it, boom. And it'll work because math. And now It works. All right, it worked over here. It always... no, it doesn't work over here. Uh-oh. That was my... It was my hope that that would work. Wait. Oh, did I just break it completely? I've done a bad. Where is it spawning blocks? It should be... What? Did I just get the things reversed? Like, blocks are being spawned, right? Somewhere? Okay. Now if we look at this, and our chunk core to 0, and our chunk core to 0, then this should be a no-op. So, like, the middle one should not be broken. This should not be broken. We should be in blocks. There should be blocks here. But they're not. Okay, what if I comment this out? Does it work again? Yeah. Obviously these don't work, but that's okay. They're trying to fix that. Okay, why is that broken? Chunk chord X. Is it because this is a position and not a global position? Is that what's biting me? Oh, okay. We need to scale the... We need to scale this. Oh no, it's already a scale. What? Let me just tinker with the math a bit. You gotta feel the math. Display more data on the label. What zone or chunk array you in? Okay. Something not right. Wait, wasn't it not working just a second ago? 1 unit of space technically touches 26 other spaces if you consider corner points. That's a true. Oh boy. All right, I should not be multiplying or dividing. Maybe I should be multiplying. Nope. Where's the home chunk? Oh, here it is. Yes. Yes. Whatever we're doing is wrong. But it's definitely the right idea. Okay, let me think about this. 000, that's definitely not 000. Okay, everything is wrong. Why is it saying that that's the global position of the block? It's definitely not. Do I need to swap the order of these? Oh, come on. Okay. Oh, that was it? No, it isn't. Why is it saying that's the position? That's not the position. Let's just breakpoint here. Just see what we're working with. Oh, okay. Breakpoint. We don't believe a breakpoint. Look, its global position param is not 000. Why is it outputting a 000? Oh wait, no, that's all right, let's get the block. Do I get to see its global position in this interface? Some for loop is backwards in some spot. That's not helpful. I mean, it has a position. Oh, wait a minute. Do I need to? No, never mind. Setting the global position should also update the position. Right? How is this 000? Mini dev grumbles. This doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, the position here can't be right. Oh, because I'm doing add child call deferred. Should I maybe like await? Should I do something like this? No, that wasn't the problem. Why is it wrong? Okay, what happens if I try and dig into this? I don't know how to describe what I'm witnessing. But it's definitely cursed. It's like the scale is being applied twice. That's what it feels like. Like the block is half a step out of step, and the block is already being moved by half a step. So Times world chunk dot scale? No.
Ooh.
Something like that. Is there an overlapping question? Maybe? Nope. Okay, that was not the that's not the solution. Is it? That feels like that didn't make any difference at all. Okay, what if I just like divide by times 2 times 2 times 2. What if I just do that? What if I do it over here? Why does this not seem like it's making any difference? Times 5. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm messing with the wrong thing. Yeah, okay. That's why. I meant this. Color code different chunk sets. Let's just multiply these by 2. Just for now. Oh, yeah, okay. What if I break something over here? It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, that's kind of correct. Or not, that's not correct. Obviously not correct, but like, what is going on with that block? Some blocks are bigger than other blocks. That's random. Shrink the set size as well to something like 10 by 10 by 10. It is 10 by 10 by 10. Isn't it? I thought that's what it was. Let me check. Where's my level builder? No, where's my chunk helper? Yeah. Bottom layer bedrock and then 10 by 10 by 10 grass. Scale up later. That was already the plan. If I make this times 5. No, that's... Okay, yeah, it's definitely... Okay. That's an improvement, because it's still on a semi-predictable... But I don't understand... Like... What the heck? Oh, geez, okay. Why didn't that work? Print out what is being deleted or hidden, move off stage. Okay. Yeah. Let me try setting this. Oh, why is it the same number? Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's obviously not correct. Obviously not correct. It's like the... No, I don't know. The global position might actually be different than the... on a different alignment than the non-global position. But how can that be? I'm passing in the global position from a previous global position. So like that shouldn't happen. Like I'm getting the global position from here. And yeah. No, I'm passing in the global position. So like it should be stepping appropriately. Block helper.get block object block num. Block map add child called deferred. Block global position. Like the if I just comment, nope. If I just comment this out, it should just jam 6 blocks on top of a block whenever I break that block. No, that's not right either. What is this? Why is this block so huge? Why is this block so huge? This is not the expected behavior. I expected it to jam 6 blocks. And the blocks to not be the wrong size. Why? If I add this, so there should be 4 blocks in the block that we just broke, and then a block above and a block below. Well, there's a block below. Oh, I won't get the block above. So this is what I expect. This is the behavior that I expected. Why was it not doing that when I previously... That's weird. So if I don't make those different, I should just put 6 blocks in one spot, not one giant block. What is this? Hold on. Let's look at the remote. Okay, we have like 80 billion blocks in here. It should be possible to... Oh, jeez. I never implemented a thing that lets me release the mouse. Shoot. Kill this. Oh, it's because I don't have the input. Another one. There we go. All right. Hold on. Oh shoot! How do I get my mouse back? Tab? No. No, I'm scared to do that. Okay. What I can do is print what the block is. And then we'll look at it. No print, huh? Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Shoot, I picked... No, that doesn't make sense. There should be at least one of these should trigger. Why are you not telling me what block I'm breaking? Oh, this is, no? Oh, here we go. Okay. Static body 3D 614151. Okay, that's useless. Ah, jeez. Oh, I can filter. 657717236. Static body 3D. Oh no. Oh, I can print the name. What am I doing? All right, watch this. Did I forget to save? Yeah, I did. It's just called grass. No. What is the name of the node? Name your blocks. The problem is I have to give each one an individual name. Because I do name them. They just, Godot rejects my naming because... well, I don't increment. Well, I used to name it. I think I got rid of that. There's a block in here somewhere. Wow, there's a lot of these. Static body. Yes. Node.getPath. Self.name? That's definitely not self.name because that's what I'm doing right now. Oops. What? Is that how you're supposed to use that? No path, huh? Why does this not have a path? Is there a way to just await? Call deferred. I think, why is this call deferred? There's a reason this is call deferred. It doesn't work if I don't call defer it. Yeah. Parent note is busy setting up children. Add child failed. Oh, I do have the errors that are being thrown. Oh, this is failing because it's not in a tree. Huh. Right. Can we go to await? There's a signal. Tree entered. There it is. Hey, we have a node name. Also, this is suddenly behaving differently. This is actually behaving how I expect it to behave. Well, almost. Could it be that that was the problem? Nope. Because I don't have that uncommented. Oh, yeah. That was the... why is it big? Why is it big? All right, let's look at static body 18934. No, the scale is correct. The position is, it looks correct. Doesn't look cursed. Why is it big? Break value is correct. Shouldn't this be a constant? Oh, it's not. Oh, well, that's a different problem to worry about. Inefficient. To do block resource data. Figure that in the future. I'm gonna hope that if I do this, suddenly all my problems go away. Why is it big? I don't know, and I'm just gonna hope that I don't need to know. What is the scale of the object is attached to? If it's attached to something, it's the world. So it's better not matter. And things are just working now. So you know what? That was the problem. I don't really understand it. If we hide, let's just pick this one. If we just hide this one, print the scale. I was looking at it. All right, hold on. Scale is 0.5 as God intended. Oh, yeah, no, scale is untouched. Just have a giant block for no reason. Let me see if I can spawn another one. Right there. Okay. 18893. which is of course the latest. And if we look at its scale, yeah, the scale is on, that's the right scale. And it's attached to literally what every other block is attached to. So like,
No!
I'm gonna just say this is a bug or something. I don't know. Yeah. I fixed it by awaiting. I don't understand why that happens, but I fixed it by waiting. So let's just fix it and move on. Close that out. I need, hold on. To not do this. Woo. Yo. Welcome. Hey, Straw Note Playtime. All right. All right. So now that we're at this stage, let's try adding the chunk offset. I picked Unity Engine. Nice. Have you done the Unity tutorials? Cool. And this isn't working. Great. It looks like I broke. Oh, wait. No. It looks like I broke it again. Okay. No. That's not what I want. Actually, this is what I want. No, that's not what I want. Actually, what I want is this. Okay, so, no, just kidding. Oh, all right. We have a block. So if I break this block, nothing. If I break this block, nothing. Okay, great. Okay. Maybe I got it backwards. Maybe I got the global position backwards. Let's try multiplying this number. Let's try subtracting, not adding. Was that it? No. Or it might have been. Hold on. Nope. What is all this? Okay. So this is the prime chunk. If I break a lot of blocks, it occurs to me, I'm doing this in a weird way. This should already actually account for the global position. This should be unnecessary. Oops. This should just be straight up unnecessary because, well, the global position of this +1, -1 should be around here. So, what am I doing wrong? Like, if I break a block over here, negative 7.5, negative 7.5. And then if I break a block over here, 15, 15. Like where am I creating blocks? If they're not being created in the right spot. Oops, no, don't. Okay, let me just do a quick investigate. Yeah, I see no blocks being spawned. But if I like dig into here, we're all good. Why is that? Let me see. Are we spawning blocks? This will only run if block num is not 0. So if it doesn't see air. Okay, so we're not running the function at all. We're not spawning blocks because the game thinks there's only air. That means we're not accessing the chunk. What is it? Get block at global position is not working. Are the labels showing block set number then location XYZ? That is what they're doing. Well, it's the location and then the chunk coordinate is actually what they're doing. They're not showing block set number. Because I only have one block set number, it's 1. I mean, there's also bedrock, but I think I can tell the difference. Yeah, these are all zeros. Okay, yeah. All right. And these are all working. What could be happening, and what actually, now that I think about it, what probably is happening, get block at global position. We're calling get chunk from global position. We've got a chunk dictionary. Oh, wait, are we ever registering the chunks? Oh, I completely forgot that I made this function. That could be the problem. We just never register the chunks. Let's go to the game. What do we call that function? Oh, yeah, we're just hard coding that. That's the problem. And I literally have the chords right here. I could just not hard. That was, oh my god. Hey, I figured out the problem. All right. Now it'll work. Oh, damn. No. Okay. Still no. But if we go over here, it still works. Oh, wait. This works? Okay. So some chunks work. But not these chunks. That's a little sus. Okay. Well, I mean, that's progress, but that's confusing. What does this return if there's nothing, if there's no default? I don't know. I would rather this like throw an error if we try and get a chunk that doesn't exist. But maybe we should spawn a chunk if it doesn't exist. Like, look for a chunk. If it doesn't exist, create a chunk, make it exist. Build it, bam, continue. We could put the to-do handle non-existent chunks better. We can put that up. What are all these errors? All right. When I break this block, the issue is that no. Oh no, these are broken. Okay. These are broken over here. But as soon as the coordinates that I'm breaking are not negative anymore, they work. Everything's great. So I think this is the error that I was running into. Or I'm not running into, but it's the error that I see. We're doing WorldArray.set, and we're trying to set a negative number for our world array. And that should never happen because set block should only be taking in local coordinates, not global coordinates. So what am I calling set block? We're calling it here, and we're passing in relative coordinates. So this should never be negative. Build into the positive space and not over 0, 0, 0. Let's look at this. Yeah, okay. Why is x negative 7? These are relative coordinates. Get block at global position. Well, this is a global. This is a global. We're getting the chunk coordinates from the global. That's correct. But the relative position param minus chunk chord dot x times width of chunk minus 0 divided by world chunk dot scale. This needs to be converted to account for the chunk coordinate. And we have the chunk coordinate here in this function already. No, that's not the chunk coordinate. Why are we calculating this like this? we have the chunk. We can just look at the chunk. Okay, let me just, hold on. Chunk dot chunk chord. I don't even need this. I don't even need this variable. I can just call chunk dot chunk chord. All right. Let's try again. Equals pos param, which is global, minus I guess I didn't need to make a new one of these. I just needed to finish it because I just need to offset by the chunk position. So I got the global position minus the chunk chord. Oh, are we already trying to do that? Once again, I note that I lose connection 70 minutes into the stream. I don't know why that's so consistent, but it is. Come on. This feels like it's already doing what I want it to do. Except this divider, but the divider is not going to make anything negative. Oh, wait a minute. Times chunk dot scale. Does that fix it? Or does that break it even harder? That doesn't fix it. All right, let's see. Did we break it harder? Does maybe? No? Still seems like everything's... Oh, no, we broke it. Now it's even worse. So the problem is this needs to be a relative position, and it's not. Okay, let me think. We've got the global position. We should be able to calculate the local position. Let me see what this is. Okay. The position param is that. This is chunk chord 0, 0. So this is subtracting literally nothing, and then it's dividing the position param by the world scale, which is sure. Oh, this is gonna break. Okay, please just let me go. Oh, geez. It grabbed the mouse, grabbed left mouse and it wouldn't let go. Is the original brick piece starting from center or one of the corners as the center point? The original brick piece. Original brick piece. I am going to guess. I'm going to guess that the original brick piece is like... I'm guessing this is the original brick piece. Right there. Is it made in code and not a scene? This is a scene. Each block is a scene. Each individual block, like... This is, nope, that's not a scene. This is a scene for a block. And this is the super type block scene. And then the level builder will take the block and its position is set based on the chunk chord. Well, it's based on the zero is the bottom. It's based on its position in the array. It's the kind of thing that this should be, I should be able to reverse this. If I have a actually, shouldn't this be a global position? I guess it doesn't matter because it's getting added to a block map. Oh no. Yeah, no, this if this was a global position, that might actually help, but I can't set the global position before adding it to the block map. And then I can't, it doesn't, Let me see something. Okay, where is 001? Oh, it's right here. Nope, that's 091. Wait, why is this? Ah. Okay. If I break 001, that's coordinate is actually 0.51. So we need to multiply that by the scale to get its relative position. If we go back to the chunk handler, okay, relative position. So we have a position, but we need to multiply it by scale first. When I say multiply, to get it to the right scale, and then do all of this. Do I need to do anything with this? Because this is, oh no, yeah, no, this doesn't need to be multiplied by the scale. Well, things still work. Okay, let me go to 0, 0, 0. Not in this chunk though, in this chunk. There it is. All right, we can break our way down to bedrock. Oh, wait, I was off by 1. I meant this one. Block broken at 0, 0, 0.500. Okay. Oh, damn. I was hoping this would work. If I go over here to this 0, 0. Block broken at 0, 0, 0.58. Negative 8. That's not right. That should be 0, 0. Have you seen the Minecraft Verity mod? No, I have not. That must be a recent mod. I used to be plugged into the Minecraft mod world 5 years ago. The last big mod that I played was the Create mod. Got 20 million views in a month. Good story and a tour. Ah. This should not be negative 8. It should be 0. Why is it not negative 8? Or why is it negative 8? Maybe I'm not supposed to multiply this. Okay, let me go over here. 0, 0. No, it's still negative 8. Why is the block broken at negative whatever? Oh, wait. Block broken at this is not my relative position. This is the relative position. Okay, I should just be tunneling through whatever 0, 0. No, that's not correct. That's not the correct Z. What? Why does it say Z is 1? X is 0, Z is 1? No. Uh-oh. What? One of the floor loops is on holidays. But which one? Oh, geez. Okay, where's 0, 0? Okay, if we look in that print line output, block broken at 0, 0, 4.500. We're looking at X is negative 1. That's fine. Z is negative 1. That should not be. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, no, that's fine. It's Y that should... Okay. Well, this might be fine. Okay. That might be fine. But let's go back over here. Oh, yeah, no, this is definitely wrong. Z is negative 15. It is very wrong. X is correct. No, it isn't. X is not correct. No, that is correct. But Z is negative 14, Z is negative 15, Z is negative 13. I don't think so. That's not right. Should this be a plus? Nope. That's definitely not right. Let me make sure nothing weird is going on with the math. Bad Z. Like, what's going on? I just want to get this correct. Okay, yeah, no, that's wrong. So this block broken is the position param. We're dividing it by scale. Maybe we should be multiplying by scale. That feels closer to what, but also it's wrong. Like this is, yeah, this is just broken now. So no, that should be division. But this is just, maybe this needs to be divided by scale? Can we go over here? No, that's still wrong. But it's less wrong, but it's still wrong. And these are still broken. Actually, this works. How deep does this tunnel go? Wow. All right. All right, let me think for a second. Just verify that everything still works. It's kind of weird that things still, all of this stuff still behaves as it should. Like, oh no, this is broken. This is broken. Like I just made a big math change. And yeah, no, more stuff is broken than it was before. Is the first set over 0, 0, 0 not in the positive space? Let's find out. This is the first chunk. It starts at 0, 0, 0. Yeah, it starts at 0, 0, 0. Take away all but one area and verify one chunk. Yeah, no, this isn't positive space. Yeah. Oh, is this broken? I thought I had all the positive areas working. What? Hold on, what? Why does that work, but this suddenly doesn't work? What? Oh, that's cursed. And then it just stops here. Okay, that leads me to believe that the scale is wrong. Let's not divide this. No, the scale was right. Maybe we just didn't go far enough. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, so you work. You don't work, but that's because the block being broken thinks it's in the negative zone. Oh, you don't work, but do you work over here? No. Do you work over here? No. I want the chunk functionality to be all or nothing. So like this is fine. Did I think there was a break there. Yeah. Yeah, it's periodically failing. Maybe that's at a chunk boundary. The chunk boundaries are failing. Oof. It's working now. Yeah, that must be a chunk boundary thing. Okay. Pen the label with actual XYZ positions rounded down. Okay. I don't have that. The block does not exist yet when this label is created. That's a... I could try predicting where the block would go. Are you saying chunk 110 will be at 1.0, 1.01, 0.0? No, but it will be at 8.0. It's supposed to be at 8.0, 0.0, 8.0. Get transform position should be okay. I mean, yeah, we can try it. Chunk dot position. What? Block dot position. No, it's not valid because it's when the label's being created, it doesn't have a position. That's getting set down here. So actually, we could just update it later. Yeah. Okay, this is negative, so this won't work. No, that does work. Oh no, it works because that's pre-placed. Yeah, negatives don't work. This one over here should work. Nothing negative about it. Love Cave Dem. Look at that beautiful mess. Yeah. Doesn't work. I'm just like, this should, okay. Block broken it here. I should be able to derive the coordinates, the correct coordinates based on the position. And I go up here. Negative 2.5. Why is 5.0? Why are we not subtracting the 0. Do I have the coordinates backwards? No, it doesn't look like they should be backwards. But yeah, no, okay, the coordinates aren't backwards, but the block is being broken in negative 2.5. And then I'm checking at 5.0. I haven't subtracted anything from the Z coordinate, but I should have. Let me go back to the chunk handler. We should have subtracted this. Let me print what the chunk coordinate is. Chunk chord. We can't blame DNS for this one. Not this time. Chunk modified chunk math is this whole thing. Okay, and then if I go over here and break this, modified chunk math is wrong. The chunk chord is also wrong. It's just completely useless. It's like that print line doesn't... Oh, no, this one is right. Wait a minute. Why is the chunk math correct here? Hold the phone. Wait a second. Modified chunk math is 16.0. Yeah, that's correct. But over here, it's also 16.0. Oh, no, that's actually fine. Hold on, I just fell off the world. Let me just try it. Try again. So, modified chunk math is 16.0. If I go up here, the modified chunk math for Z should be negative 16.0, and it's 0. Why is it 0? Why isn't it negative 16.0? Wait, are these chunk chords accurate? I don't have a negative I don't have a negative chunk cord? If you think it's weirdo, try resetting the project on the bottom of the project menu pull down. What? Chunk cord is 0, 1. Modified chunk math is correct. But that's not 0, 1. This is negative 1, 1. Reload current project. That'll make sure there's nothing weird. I guarantee that won't fix anything. Yeah, no, that's wrong. That's the same amount of wrong as before. Why? Okay, why does it think the chunk cord is 0, 0? And it can happen with serialization stuff. Yeah, but we're not doing. Are we just getting the wrong chunk? Can we just print the chunk or the coordinate? That's not right. That's the wrong. How is this wrong? What? Position parameter times x divided by the width of the chunk. Why is this wrong? Put a label on the chunk selection scene. The chunk selection scene? What is... I don't know what that is. Should this be multiplying the scale of the world? You might have a scene that shows the current selection. I might. I don't know what it's. I've got a scene that's a block. I've got a scene that's a player, and I've got a scene that is. Oh, and this isn't the chunk selector though. This is a block selector. That one? What label am I putting on that? To print its location? I'd have to give it code to do that. Okay, position param.x times with the chunk. Let me try multiplying. Oh no, that's already factored in here. Caveman grunts. If the position is negative, the coordinate, okay. Let me think. Okay. I'm breaking this block. This is at -8, -8. So the chunk cord shouldn't be -1, 0. It should be -1, -1. Why is it wrong? That doesn't make any sense. Cord. Okay, let me go to this corner and break that. Chunk chord -10 at negative 8.0, 7.5. Wait, why is it negative 7.5? Oh, shoot. It's getting rounded down because of I'm using an int. Maybe we should round up. What if it's the rotation of the camera somehow? That's nonsense. Let's try rounding up. How do I round up in Godot? Round. What does this actually do? Wrap I? What? Seal. That's what I wanted. Wait, do I need it to be in an int? I guess I do. Okay. No, the coordinates are still wrong? That's actually crazy. What? Chunk chord 20. All right, well, we're definitely in the wrong track. Okay. Negative 16.00 goes to 0, negative 10, which is correct. But negative 6. Wait, what? How is our chunk chord? How is this negative 16? What? Hold on. Okay, this is -8, -8. But according to this, my modified chunk math says this is negative 16. Oh. No, that shouldn't be. That should be a multiply. Maybe this should be a multiply? No, that should be a division. What? Modified chunk math. Should I not divide it by the scale? -8, it's off by 1 somewhat. Yeah. The modified chunk math, -8. Okay. So this is still broken over here, but what about this corner? One, -1. What about over here? -1. Okay, no. What about over here? -1, 0. No. What about over here? It should work over here. Our modified chunk math is 8.0. So if I go down here, nothing. That works. Does this work? Nope, nothing else works. So if I add this and then I go back here, like this works. The modified chunk math is right? Did I not save it? The modified chunk math is right here. But okay, if I go over... why is that one wrong? If I go over here and break this, it says the modified chunk math is -8. Wasn't it saying -16 earlier? Am I hallucinating? Oh, because I never corrected it here. Yeah. All right, let me go over here. Yeah, the modified chunk math is -16. 16, that's not right. It should be half that. But like, everything over here works. Why does it work over here? Why is this one differently colored than all the others? I don't understand why this works. And this doesn't. Like if I go back here, now all of a sudden, oh wait, no. It does still work. Oh no, wait, no it doesn't. It does not work. Appears to be some sort of mistake. Uh-oh. Oh, I've seen this before. Oh, what? Uh-oh. I'm inside a block. Okay. Well, I mean, this kind of works. We've seen this problem before. I don't remember what the solution was. Does everything appear as expected? I mean, I kind of... But let me see where it breaks. And mathematically, the chunk is right. The modified chunk math is right. And right here is where the math breaks down. But like at this point, it's all good. Everything functions as you'd expect it to. And we're good until we reach here. And now we're like, the chunk coordinate is just wrong. Wait, is the chunk coordinate's wrong here? This is not the chunk chord. It says 1, 1, but we're in 1, 0. All right. Yeah, and then the chunk just quits. It's claiming we're in 1, 1. Play with the sizes and see what it reads. Why did I call it world chunk? Why didn't I just call it chunk? Oh boy. Oh no. No, I don't know why that's happening. Why are they spaced out like that? It's a sign of the offset monster. How do I fix it? Oh, it might be. Oh, I think I know why this is happening. It might be because my blocks are not dynamically setting their size. I hard coded the size, so we can just adjust the scale of objects, which is a privilege we only get because we only have 2 blocks, and it's. Did I? Oh no, it's done here. Okay. Yep. All right. Well, this is unfortunately not where I want to be. I was kind of hoping that my function that places me would be a little more robust, but I see that I've hard-coded my value because I gave up on getting that function working. All right. Okay, this says that we're at chunk chord 202, and that's definitely wrong. According to the label, this is chunk -1, 1, but not according to the chunker. um, so mathematically, this should be 16. This should be 16. Let's check. 16, 16. Time scale. Yeah. Okay. So position param. We're dividing it by 16. And that's 0. And we're dividing this by 16, and that's 0. But that's not right. This should be -1. I need more intelligent rounding than this. Because 0 to 15 is chunk coordinate 0. But then -1 to -15 is chunk coordinate -1. So I can't just say divide by 16 and drop the remainder, which is what I've been doing. I need to there's some math function that I just need to remember exists. Floor? No. What does Godot floor do? Math. Down towards -infinity. So if I do this, enforce power of chunk sets, power of 2. This is a power of 2. Okay, so that chunk is correct, right? Yeah, -1, -1, and this is -1, -1. Let's try here. -1, 0, -1, 0. This is -1, 1. That's correct. Yeah, I feel like this is working now. That was the issue, is we weren't doing the floor function. Whoops. Okay. If that was the problem, great. I'm glad. I'm glad that we fixed it. Never again. I would like to try fixing the scale. And then exploring a little bit, and then if this works, first of all, nope, chunk. Where's the chunk? World chunk, 0.5. If this works, this is math that I never want to touch. Oh no, it stopped working. But wait, that's the right chunk, isn't it? Yeah, -1, -1. That's the right chunk. Where are my blocks? Wait a minute. Okay. This is a different bug. The thing just gives up on placing blocks after a certain distance. And then who knows where it's placing blocks. Okay. Yeah. This is consistent. Consistent behavior. Okay. Why is this happening? We're going to fix this bug and then I'm going to quit. Let me clean up some of the print lines because they've gotten out of hand and I just can't anymore. No worries, good session. Okay, block broken at, is that accurate? Is that accurate? Actually the block is broken? It does look like that's accurate. Why is this one weird? Does anyone know? Does anyone know why this one label is a special snowflake in a sea of labels? Okay. I'm just going to look at the X and the Z's. Let's see what they're trying to do. First of all, we try and break that. Nothing. There we go. Yeah, we have spawned 4 blocks. We go down here, nothing. We go over here, we've spawned 3 blocks. Are these relative positions? No, they're not relative positions because those are negative. Okay, and we give up at this point for a reason I don't understand yet. Oh, I never uncommented this. I thought that was an important function. No, it was not. Did that just ruin it? Oh, it did. But then how are we applying the chunk position? Oh, because it's a global position parameter. So it seems like we're not calling this function block num because we're not getting the correct block num anymore. Let me just hold on. Only focus on the X value. Yeah, X is 0, 0. Oh, what? There's no... There we go. Okay, no. Oh, it's because I'm going the wrong way. I should have checked the Z value, not the X value. If we do it over here, okay, this should be returning a 0 inappropriately. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Yep. Okay. It's just not getting the block at the global position. That's wrong. This is giving the wrong value. So we get the block at global position. How do you work? Let's assume, this might be a dumb assumption, but let's assume that this function works. Well, actually, let's just verify. Okay. Why is this returning? I'm going to assume that works. I wish I had printed the coordinates. I'm going to assume it works, but I'm going to verify it anyway, making no point in me assuming anything. Okay, that's correct. This appears to be correct. Yeah. It is giving the correct chunk. If there's no chunk, return 0. But there is a chunk. Make sure we're not hitting this. Yeah, at no point are we calling no chunk. Okay, we're good. So we're getting the relative position. Let's print the relative position. And that should be on the label, but it's kind of hard to read because I have every label. This would be easier if I picked a better direction to do this in. Let me just start over. If I back up, okay, so this is 3, 3, 8. Oh, do the blocks that I spawn not, am I not spawning a label with them? Oh, great. I lost count. Okay, so this is 3, 0. This is 2, 0, 1, 0, 2, 3. 3, 0. 3, 3, 1. 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 6, 3, 7. Well, that's not right. The relative position. 1, 8. Shoot. This should probably be a vector 3i. Oh, no, okay. Yeah, I jumped the gun way too early. Get over here. Yeah, where it's broken. Thank you. Okay, so this is 5.58, which translates to 1116. I'm just staring at a sea of numbers right now. Hold on. I'm assuming this is right. I'm assuming this. Wait, no, this can't be right because these are negative numbers. That can't be correct. They have to be integers, positive integers that vary from 0 to 16 in the x and then the z. I mean, those are correct. Oh, we're hitting 16 too early. Hold on. I see. Are we rounding to, we're rounding wrong for sure. Yeah, that is not the correct relative position. But why is it off? Does this need to be divided by the scale? Gap is not there anymore. Okay. Looks like it's working now. All right, I'll test it. I'm going to test it another time. It looks like it's working now. So we're just going to hope that the math... Why is this still a special snowflake? The math holds, and we'll test it rigorously to see if we can find like a seam between chunks to where it doesn't work. Because I was running into that earlier, but also earlier my math was broken, and maybe it's not broken anymore. And if so, then that fixed that problem. But in any case, whoa. Theoretically, we've implemented multiple chunks, and we can scale this indefinitely. There's nothing holding us back from just spawning them indefinitely. Let me go in here. We're not going to print block broken because every time I close the game, it breaks every block, and that is annoying for my computer. Okay. Done. We're not gonna, I don't think I'm gonna make this something to where we make infinite chunks. If we were gonna do that, I'd need to optimize harder than what I've done currently. Or just put a disclaimer that says, if your computer is below these standards, You can't dislike my game for not being a good performer. You have to give me 5 stars on everything. And if you don't, then you're in violation. No. We're just going to not make our world infinite. And that's probably for the best. We still need to come up with level strategies. Because right now our world is flat, featureless, and it's only 10 blocks deep, which is, you know, not that deep. We need to invent stone. To do stone. I'll get that in. And then we'll add inventory. We'll add inventory next. That's going to be probably a lot more work than I don't think we're going to finish it next time, but we'll get started. And we'll definitely finish it by the end of the week. And then no promises that we get to basic crafting. But once we've gotten to there, we've got enough game that we can just start adding content. And that means digging into Blender so that I can add a mob. Oh, that means I have to add mobs. Whatever. Anyway, I stop here. Potato class Starship Asteroid Zone. I'm not going to say no to that. We could do that. That could be a level. But anyway, I stop here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with all the gnarly math. Hope your game dev is going well. Hope you're having a lot of fun games playing them. And I already said, hope your game dev is going well. So I'm just going to fall asleep.